friends, and welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to be doing a little bit of a makeover on my Rudsta cactus cabinet. It is very nearly the first of the month. I think it's the last of April today, and so I figured I may as well water my cacti because I like to do that at the very beginning of the month. And since I take all of them out to water, I thought it would be the perfect time to install, probably this way is easier for you to read it, some Modern Aqua shelves that I was able to get my hands on while I was in the States. So technically they do ship internationally, I believe, but they the cost is not small, and so I figured since I was going to be in the States, it would be the best chance for me to try and get my hands on some of these shelves. They do custom shelves for all of the sort of IKEA greenhouse cabinets. I actually have a Millsbo one in here and a Rudsta one, but I'm just going to be installing this Rudsta one today, and I'm very much looking forward to it. I've always wanted to try these, and they seem like really amazing products. So super duper psyched about this. Also, I should say that they did give these to me for free. Before I get into all of this though, I just want to say, if you're new here and you don't know me already, hi, my name is Emma and I make houseplanty content all over the internet. So if you want to follow along with my houseplanty journey and maybe learn something along the way, stick around, watch some more of my videos, and subscribe to my channel. If you're not new here, welcome back. I appreciate you coming back. Let's get watering these to start with, and then we can go on making over my Rudsta once more. I'm also pulling out my hydrogen peroxide because if you have seen my cactus repotting video that I did like earlier in April, you will have seen me find root mealies in, at the very least, my booby cactus and the apuntia, and one other one which I ended up throwing away because it was kind of feeling gone and dead already. But I'm going to be doing a bit of a hydrogen peroxide soak for these. And I do want to say that I would not be doing that if these were in soil, because hydrogen peroxide, while it does kill the bad things like the mealybugs that I'm trying to get rid of, it will also kill the entire microbiome of the soil. And so, like, if you're trying to encourage that in your soil plants, which I think you should be, in my opinion you should be, you don't have to, but like I think you should, it's like the best way to grow plants is to try and promote healthy microbiome in their soil. But since all of these are in semi-hydro and therefore a non-organic substrate, they don't have a natural microbiome, and so I can use something like hydrogen peroxide to make sure that anything in there gets gone, because I don't want anything in these ones, because anything that's growing in these ones is going to be a pest. So hydrogen peroxide is a good shout for these ones, and it'll just make sure that, just in case I miss some, I didn't unpot all of these cacti when I found the mealybugs, because that would have just been like absolutely ages. So because I didn't unpot all of them, I may as well just do a hydrogen peroxide soak on them instead of a sort of normal water soak, and then a thorough rinse, and anything that was living in there will have hopefully died from the hydrogen peroxide. And I can do this again and again, really, in theory, just to make sure. But as of right now, I don't think there are any mealybugs in this, but I would have said that also like 2 weeks before I did that cactus repot. So this is just a precautionary measure. I would not do this normally, and I would not do this if any of these were in soil. Full disclaimer. So let's mix up some ratio of this. I'm not doing full, straight, neat hydrogen peroxide as well. I'm diluting it, I think 1 part hydrogen peroxide to about 3 or 4 parts water, and using that as the soak. And I'm just gonna soak them how I normally would. Cool, 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 cool. Okay, so I was able to do the ones that I have already in trays, and they're just in there soaking. It took way more than I was expecting to fill them up. And then I've got 2 measuring jugs, or 3 actually, 3 measuring jugs with the hydrogen peroxide solution, and some of these little guys soaking in there. And I'm hoping that they're not soaking and burning up mealybugs, but if there are any mealybugs in there, I hope they're getting them. And then I'll do these back ones afterwards, after these soak for like half an hour, I think would be the best bet. Because yeah, also I'm pretty sure that hydrogen peroxide plus water will eventually like bubble up and just become water, because it makes H2O and oxygen until all those bubbles are oxygen. I think. I could be incorrect in that, but I think that's what's happening. And so this is essentially like watering them, but with like toxic mealybug solution at the same time. So I'm hoping that I can just do this instead of watering, and they should be fine. But I'm gonna leave this for a little while and we can go work on the cabinet in the meantime. So this is what the cabinet looks like empty. You can see I just have 1 of the glass shelves in here because I wanted the plants to be closer to the grow light. I've also got some magnetic shelves on the back, which I love. And then at the bottom, I'm just storing some like dry soil, or like soil components, like things like grit and sand and like perlite and semi-hydro. Things that I don't need to worry about like being too moist or staying too wet. So I think what would be best to do is to take everything out and give everything a bit of a clean, because I'm a messy girl and I get water all over everything, and it doesn't look amazing. So yeah, let's give this a nice clean and then we can get the shelf set up. Okay, very good. When I spoke to Modern Aqua about doing this sort of collaboration, I basically said I really wanted a diagonal shelf for my Redsta because a couple of the Euphorbia I have are really tall. And they're currently living outside of the cabinet because they were too tall to fit on that shelf. So I figured if I got a diagonal shelf, it would mean that I'm more likely to be able to get them into the cabinet until they grow, and then I'll have to take them out. But for the time being, since they haven't grown yet, I can figure out a way to get them in, and I think they would appreciate it because this Jungle Dawn LED light is like insanely bright. And I think it would help with the light situation. Sorry, I've not actually like opened these at all, but this is the diagonal shelf that I got. So it's actually got a plastic coating on the outside. It is made of acrylic, which is everything I believe that Modern Aqua does is out of laser cut acrylic, and they have actually different patterns you can get on the shelves. But these holes here are air vents, so you can easily let air pass through, because when you're doing a sort of greenhouse cabinet that you want to stay super duper humid, having good airflow is super duper important, because if you don't have good airflow, it could lead to issues with like fungus growing and mold and stuff like that. So having airflow holes is great to like not have to worry about humidity too much. This cabinet, because it is more of an arid cabinet, I'm not too worried about humidity. It does tend to stay in like the 50 to 60% range, which is kind of crazy considering I've got cacti in here and they're growing like absolutely fine. But yeah, I'm just really excited about this. Also, what's really cool is they have these notches out of all of the like back corners of things. These notches are for the wires. If you have any grow lights or fans or something that are wired in the cabinet, they're to help those wires go through. And they've also got these brass like holes, which you can use to install grow lights on. So if you were to be putting a grow light on the bottom of this shelf, you would likely be doing it on the diagonal end. And so you can install your grow light using those, which is awesome. I'm not putting a grow light on this shelf because I don't need to, but the option is there if I did desire in the future to put a grow light on it. So just satisfyingly pull this off. Oh yeah. And then the other side. And then we have a crystal clear shelf. So now I get to decide which way I want it. If I want the diagonal to be on that end or that end, it doesn't really matter. But I feel like that way makes more sense for me. And because the Rudsta kind of already has the shelf bit put in to the height that I want it, I don't need to worry about that, and I can kind of just put it in. Oh my goodness. I mean, easiest installation ever. And now I have room for like way more, I think. I have definitely lost literally half of the shelf space, but I think that's okay because I have room for the taller space and I still have those magnetic shelves I can put on the back. So let's see now if my euphorbias fit in here, because if they don't, then we have bigger problems, but I think they will. Heck yes. Okay. I could even like put that on a riser to raise it up even more. I don't think I want to. Also, this one is what I haven't repotted into semi-hydro yet, and that's just because it's quite big and I haven't felt like doing it. I did just put the other one that I will bring in now into semi-hydro, and I think it's liking it so far. It doesn't seem to be having any issues, but yeah, that looks really, really good. I'm glad that fits because it definitely didn't fit before. And that also fits. Do they both fit with the door closed? Yeah. Perfect, actually, for those two. And they're closest to the window, which will definitely help with light. I mean, it's not going to be crazy amounts of light, but they're getting quite a lot of light from the grow light, as well as much light as possible from the side. The lights that go over the plant here are on pretty much all day. I've turned them off for the sake of this video, but they're on pretty much all day, and so they will be giving me the good stuff all the time. Also, now I can't put all of the substrate and stuff that I had in there before because it was pretty much filling up the bottom, and I think I need to be mindful because I might want to be putting another, I think I might put the blue myrtillo cactus there, and maybe also the dead stick plant, because those are tall, and so I want to be able to give those some room. So if I'm putting this stuff back, I just want to be careful that I don't use too much space. Like, I'll still have to use some. I can't get rid of all of this space because it's very useful. Oh, do I have a spike in my hand? Probably. Yeah. There we go. Yeah, I can't lose all of the space because that would be quite annoying. Oh, that actually fits really well. What is this? So it's like, I'm glad I have all these substrates as well, but I tend to not mix my own substrates these days, and so I don't really need to have like a bunch of vermiculite or an entire bag of zeolite that I got from like Soul Ninja years and years and years ago, before I started just like getting their substrates straight, because that's honestly way easier. But it's fine. I'll just need to find other places for like this bag of grit. Literally like their old packaging as well. Oh, it's been ages. Cool. I almost only want to put that in. Take that out. Because then it's just the nice looking stuff. And I like the nice looking stuff with the nice Soul Ninja packaging. It's very much on brand for me. This isn't sponsored by them either, but I mean, I do really love their products, and I am an affiliate with them. If you did want to try it and you haven't already in the UK or the EU, you can get 10% off all components and soil blends if you use my discount and you're new, a new customer. So that's there if you want it. Don't have to use it if you don't want. But yeah, cool. These are back in. I think now it's just finishing up getting things watered, and we can put them back, rearrange a little bit, and see how this works for me long term, because I think it's going to be great. I'm just really glad that I get these in here, because this tall one was right next to my desk, and I would constantly get my like elbows caught on it, like my hair caught in it. Like, it was just quite annoying. So glad to have this one out of that corner now. Maybe I'll put a different plant there, but hopefully one without spikes, because I don't need to be caught anymore. enough. But that one I know, or at least I think, didn't have any mealies on it, because when I repotted it I didn't see any. And so I kind of just have to trust my gut on it. Any in soil, I'm just going to water for now. Ugh. No, I definitely... Okay, yeah, this one has a mealybug on it. You can see it's just there. Can you see it's just there? Just there. That's a mealybug. Okay, that's really annoying. It's probably got more inside here as well. I will have to repot this one. This snake plant is also in soil, and since it's been in the cabinet, I don't trust that it doesn't have. So I'm gonna have to repot this one as well. Ugh, this is so annoying. But this one's growing so well. It's definitely grown taller since it's been in the cabinet, because for a while it was just kind of around there. And now, look at that. It's growing so well. I mean, so is the dead stick plant, to be honest. The dead stick plant is growing amazingly, because it definitely wasn't this tall when I got it. So it's doing something right. Not really sure how to do this one other than literally just pouring hydrogen peroxide in and water, because it's so big. So there's a bunch of hydrogen peroxide, and then I'm just gonna fill it with water. And now we can let these ones sit for half an hour as well. And while we do that, I'm going to repot those other two with the mealies on them. I'm just gonna do this on the floor because I CBA to pull out my table. So oddly enough, it doesn't look like there's any mealies in the actual root ball, but they're like higher up, like there's one there, and I mean obviously the one we saw earlier there, but that one, there's one there. But like in the main chunk of this soil, there really doesn't seem to be any, which is good. Maybe it's just that the infestation isn't bad enough. I mean, either way, this soil is literally going straight in the bin, because I don't trust them to have not laid eggs down here. And I'm gonna have to do a hydrogen peroxide soak on these ones as well. And I may as well put this one into semi-hydro. I was contemplating it before, but now that we're in the same boat as my other succulents and cacti, I feel like I may as well. Okay. Honestly, I'm not actually seeing any by the roots. Or at least the bottom roots. They're more on these upper ones, so that's fine. And then let's see about snake plant. honestly, this one's looking pretty good. So I might just give this a pot size up. I haven't repotted this one in so long, but I think I might just give this one a pot size up and then take it out of the cabinet, which I know it likes being in the cabinet, but I think it would just be safer for it against the mealies if it weren't. Genuinely, I can't see any. But I mean, just because I can't see any doesn't mean they're not there, but I might give it a really quick soak as well, just in case, because there's no harm in that. But I will be putting it back into soil. But maybe a pot size up. I mean, honestly, it's enjoying this pot size, so I'm not sure if it'll even want a pot size up. Maybe one that's like round instead of square, just to give it that tiny bit more. But let me go get some hydrogen peroxide for these, and we can bin this soil because it's contaminated. And now I'm just gonna let these sit for quite a while, probably like half an hour in here, just to give them some time to bubble. Look at all those mealies just floating on the surface. There's so many, like way more than I was able to see, but that's just gross. The good thing is I'm not seeing any mealies or anything in the ones I've been soaking in the kitchen. So I'm thinking that probably means there aren't any in there. I'm hoping. But I have just gone through and pulled the rest of them out to dry out for a little bit and drain, and maybe in a couple hours time when they're a little bit drier we can put them back in the cabinet and get all sorted nicely. It'll be a couple hours for me. It'll be like 1 second for you after basically I repot those other two with the mealies. So this one looks nice and clean, nothing untoward. So I'm just going to repot it up a size using cacti and succulent soil because it's liked being in this its whole life. So why change it now? All good, can go back in a cash pot, and I think probably I'll be putting it not back into the cactus cabinet, but somewhere different. I don't know where it'll get the same like nice light, but I will figure that out and put it there as best I can. So I wasn't able to get all of the soil off of these roots, but I think I got enough of it off. And I definitely washed all of the mealies that ended up in the semi-hydro mixture off. So I think I'll be good. I'm now just going to put it into some semi-hydro, get it all fresh. Cleo, this is not for you. This is for me. No, hey, don't eat that. Hey, these are mine. Silly girl. Hey, stop. I'm working here. And now, next time I water as well, I can do this one specifically with the hydrogen peroxide. I probably won't do all of the cacti succulents with it because I don't think they all need it a second time, at least not for a while, unless I start seeing them decline. But I can do this one just to like triple D check that it is in a good spot. And I've also got it in a clear container, so hopefully if there is any issues, I will see it. But this now can go back into the Roadster cabinet. Woo! I think they've had plenty of time to dry out at this point, so we can get them properly set up in their new updated cabinet. So I'm actually extremely pleased with how much fits in here like this. And I really like these tall ones at the bottom front. I think it looks so good. And I genuinely could not have done it without this diagonal shelf. And I know like having stuff like this isn't ideal because the tray takes up a lot of space, but it really does just make the space look so good. And I still have loads of room for more stuff if I want it. Like, I could fit something down there, maybe in the back corner there, something there. So I could fit things. I think this looks so good. Like, way better than before. And surprisingly, I've been able to fit the same amount, if not more, in now. Well, obviously more, because I've got two huge euphorbias in here that I didn't have in before. And I feel like I've got more room at the top now if I wanted to get some more of those magnetic shelves or some more of these like magnet ring things. These are still a prototype. One of my friends is working on them for me, but like I could put so many more things just on the back wall like that. Oh, yes, I am thoroughly pleased with this, and I feel so good about it. So yeah, a huge thank you to Modern Aqua for giving me this shelf to install in my cabinet. I think it looks so good in there. And if you're interested in trying anything out with them, I'll put the link below in the description to them and this specific shelf. And at some point, I will be putting this one into my Mills bow, but not exactly sure when yet, because that would involve taking everything out of there. And that is also a huge job. So it might be a minute on that yet. But yeah, thank you so much, Modern Aqua. If you're interested in trying it out, I highly recommend. Also, before I go though, I want to say a huge thank you to Meredith, who has just joined the Good Growing fam over on Patreon. I really hope you enjoy it over there, Meredith. If anyone else is interested in joining my Patreon, it's £3 or about $4.50 a month, about €4, and you get everything for that price, including bonus content, live chats with me, which I should have one coming up this weekend, and polls, early access to vlog videos, and more, just like generally getting to know me more, and hang out on the Discord too. That is a fun thing we do. So yeah, that's there if you want it, but absolutely no pressure if you don't. Otherwise, I want to say thank you for watching this video. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give it a thumbs up down below and leave a comment on other houseplanty things you'd like me to talk about in the future, and subscribe for more. Hope you're having a fantabulous day, and I will see you in the next one. Don't forget to keep growing. Bye!